Now we're looking at our third set of the week, and this is between Satan and Lakers. Okay. Um, from the get-go, Lakers team just looks a lot better. I think all of these mons are mons I'm used to seeing in PGC. Snorlax infamously really hard to kill. Sneasel good for fake out, Infernape, fake out, Gardevoir good spread damage, and Clefairy just is really annoying with Friend Guard and redirection. So I do think that Lakers probably has a plan around just making his mon unkillable with Clefairy. And Satan has an interesting team. He does have the evolved form of the shooter that we just saw in the previous matchup. He has Grafaiai, which I would be surprised if it's running like nasty plot baton pass this game as well. It probably is just running Encore, which looks to be very annoying for a lot of these mons because you can Encore the fake out mod into fake out and it's just like worthless. And if stuff like Snorlax tries to set up a stockpile, you can Encore into that as well. So I think the Shrill Encore is going to be very impactful. Mesprit also does get Encore. So if Satan does bring double Encore in this matchup, it looks to be pretty solid. Other than that, I am a bit worried about his offensive output. Um, doesn't seem to be the strongest into the Clefairy um, bolstered defense of this team. Squawk ability could be running Final Gambit, but otherwise it does look like just double intimidate into a possible competitive Empoleon, which looks very scary. So we'll have to see what is actually being brought. So you see Rotomo Grafaiai lead into a Snorlax Infernape. Note that Grafaiai also gets Fake Out, and it is slightly faster than Infernape, so it's possible that Grafaiai could just Fake Out the Infernape and Rotomo try to do as much damage to Infernape as possible. But I don't think it's actually possible to kill this in one with Rotomo. So um, Snorlax is probably just going to be able to click and attack. I think it's a mistake if this guy tries to set up because of possible encore. So he really should just be trying to like probably use like a double edge or body slam to one of these mons. Runamog turret goes to ignore the fake out, knocks off the leftovers from Snorlax, also just okay. Very good turn from uh Satan. Gets incredible damage onto the Infernape, completely neutralizes the fake out because of the turret ghost, knocks off the lefties from the setting up Snorlax, and has repositioned in his spot. All in all, fantastic. If it does have Encore and it Encores the Snorlax, this is a sitting duck. Snorlax clicks Protect. Poison Jab finishes off the Infernape, and Brave Bird straight into the Snorlax. Okay. Yes, okay, it does have Encore, so the Snorlax is just gonna be click and protect for the rest of this game. Brave Threat does an insane amount of damage to the Empoleon. Like it did 53% to an Empoleon. That's very shocking. It has Intimidate as well, so it's not like it was hustle boosted. Possibly a boosting item?
No,
Maybe just
that was hustle. That was
oh that
hustle.
was hustle. Wait, did I not see it? Okay, yeah, no, okay, yeah, there was no Intimidate. I'm just tripping. Okay, yeah. Which makes sense to I guess, because there's an Empoleon with competitive, you don't want to give it a boost. But for some reason
Yeah.
I just saw
A
Intimidate. I'm tripping.
a
Yeah.
a bit this is a bit of a spoiler, but I think Satan and I both really tried to respect each other's threats with competitive. He had the Milotic that didn't show up for the set. I
I
had
see.
Empoleon,
Makes sense.
and
Did you have
he didn't.
Intimidate?
I didn't bring Luxray specifically because I didn't want to make that Milotic a problem.
I see. Makes sense. I'm not sure how good Luxury would have been in this matchup, but yeah. Okay, so there's probably like maybe a hustle, maybe even like choice band to be able to do that much, but yeah. Okay.
Oh, wait,
Snorlax
and
is
also
working.
because Meowscarada had Flower Trick, that was also why Luxray didn't come.
Makes sense. Yeah. Okay, Snorkablade goes down, but not before like doing a billion to Napoleon. And yeah, this looks pretty chopped because yeah, Rotomo is going to be able to finish off. I like the knockoff to just guarantee that even if the Napoleon had a resist berry, it would do damage, remove it, and then Rotomo would finish it off. And now we get this end game where Snorlax is now no longer on card, but it can't set up anymore to this Ghost Rotomo plus whichever last mon state it has in the back. The Clefairy is probably going to be Firelight, but it's going to get knocked off as well. Or just raw Poison Jab by this Grafia. So Grafia has looked to be like the MVP of this set so far. It's looking very annoying. Oh, it just runs Taunt. Okay, that is very good. And Snorlax's best move
Yeah,
to hit the Rotom mode is D-Bomb. Yeah, this looks over. Caught into no moves left. The Clefairy's not running an attacking move. It is folks, it is more over than it's ever been over. Like, oh my
it's really bad. Satan outplayed the shit out of me this game.
goodness. Yeah. And it's looking really hard for the game, even a game two adaptation. Like, obviously, the turn one was just horrendous for you and really good for Satan. But also, this Grafia just looks really good into like most of the stuff that you have. And I
Yeah,
think
he
game two adaptation has to just be focused around not letting Grafia get as much mileage as it did that game.
mhm.
At least one thing that you do know is that you know that it's not running fake out, it's not running protect. So knockoff poison jab encore taunt, it could possibly be carrying sash, but I do think with how much trouble it's been giving you with no protect, I do think that you should be just going for the Grafia game two, stopping it from being as limiting for the rest of your team. Satan, I don't think he has to adjust too much, honestly, from that game. That game went really well for him. I think the onus is just on Lakers to adapt and on Satan to just keep playing well.
He built the Grafite incredibly well.
Yeah, that looks like Thanos into a team. So yeah, Cat is weak cooked. Okay, so yeah, no adaptation from Satan. Same leads. Traces to Prankster. Steel turret to deal with Gardevoir. Fake out makes sense. Moonblast, knowing that this has a steel turret is fine. I like the turn one a lot better from Players. Um, although, actually, yeah, no, you can't even encore the Sneasel into the fake up because it's a dark type. So yeah, I do like this game two adaptation a lot. This turn one has gone much better for Players. And we do see that again, this Arcanine is not intimidate. Could either be Flash Fire or Justified. I don't know if there's I don't think that I mean we've already seen Graffia's moves, so it's not running beat up. So I assume it is just Flash Fire for the Infernape. Poison Jab does 51 to the Infernape, Iron Head into the slot. Okay. Fake out again. Poison Jab finishes off the Infernape. Napoleon. Water Pledge. Oh,
Yeah, so,
Lakers tried to run a pledge. Yeah.
if you wanna pause right here, um, I think I messed up on, turn 2 with, of all things, the order that I switched my Pokemon in,
Mhm.
because as it happened, Empoleon comes in on the slot that isn't supposed to be receiving the poison jab,
I
where
see.
where if Infernape goes into Sneasel's place and Empoleon goes into Gardevoir's place.
I see. Yeah, because you do a double switch,
Mhm.
and
Then
then
that
yeah, yeah. So you see the Arcanine, and you see the Fire. Fire is always going to be picking Poison Jab into the Gardevoir. So yeah, I do think you are right. Empoleon probably could have come in this spot on the expected Poison Jab. The only consideration is maybe depending on what move this Arcanine was going to click into the Sneasel slot. Like it could have been scary for whichever mon is coming in. Okay,
I
actually,
suppose that's true.
no. I think Infernape, no matter what move, I mean, unless the Arcanine was clicking a ground move into the Sneasel slot, I think what I would expect the most is either like an extreme speed or a fire move into the Sneasel. So I do think that Infernape should have been able to take either of those. So yeah, it probably is a mistake switching Napoleon in on this side and Infernape on this side. Having them swapped around would have put you in a better spot. Yeah, so that turn happens. Fake out is yeah, I guess Arcanine is so scary. So I don't mind the fake out, but he just reads the fake out, such as in the Motom, finish us off the Infernape. Well, that does get good damage off. Uh, but, hmm, I mean, I do think the Sneasel could have just clicked fake out here. I mean, I guess killing the Motom is just as good as fake out because you can't be letting the Motom click a electric specs move into Empoleon. And Esprit and Arcanine come back out, protect the Scout. Flipblitz does over half the Napoleon, and that protect is just completely wasted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough. And yeah, Flipblitz is completely able to take it out. Hmm. That's a tough set. I do think that in general the Grafia was just really, really well built and annoying. Like it both did good damage across the board and it prevented you from doing
I
stuff
was
you want to.
surprised at how much damage it did. I looked up its base stats after the set and was shocked to see
Oh yeah,
95 base attack.
yeah, it's not exactly weak. Like people know it most for Prankster, but it has very annoying unburdened setup sets as well. Like those things can be a threat. Like I think Grafia is definitely a sleeper, pretty good pick in this format because everything else is just weaker. But yeah, and just rubs the salt into the wound. Respect.
Yeah, I watched back those replays the day that that set happened because I was like, I need to find out where I went wrong here and where he got the better of me because that felt pretty bad.
Yeah, I do think that like you could have still brought the Clefairy Snorlax plan, but I think the biggest thing was just the Grafia got way too much value. This they only even clicked
Mhm.
prank like poison jab, but it's like the pressure of it having pranks taunt and pranks the encore just put a lot of pressure on you. And I do think that like, with no protect, if you had just like focused it out earlier with like your Infernape instead of like taking fake on it, just like ripping raw moves into it, might have been better.
Hey, Hedja, when you're doing these and you see like the low point ones, I'd love to hear afterwards what you think of like the value they got. Like the squawk ability is 2 points, so
Yeah, I mean, the squawkability with for 2 points, I always thought like squawkability is a pretty draftable 2 pointer because I mean I personally have drafted squawkability myself. I've never really bought it running the hustle sets. I have run gut sets actually when I did one run offensive squawkability, but that's more because I just don't enjoy running as much variance as possible. And I think that having a 20% chance for your move to just miss is really awkward and can like just define entire sets. So I would never run hustle myself, but I mean it did do a lot of damage to Napoleon first game. But personally, when I
So
run Stalkability, I do enjoy running like some like more supportive like Intimidate or Final Gambit, those kind of like guaranteed value sets. Yeah.
so on the note of variance, you saw Water Pledge from the Empoleon earlier. That's because Empoleon doesn't get Muddy Water, it doesn't get Scald in Gen 9.
Hmm.
So my options for Water Stab are Surf, which I don't really wanna do with this team, Hydro Pump, or Water Pledge. And I didn't wanna run Hydro Pump because of the low accuracy. So Water Pledge ended up being my go-to for Water Stab.
That is that is insanely unfortunate. Holy shit. I mean, I get it, but like, Christ, that's awkward. I do think that people tend to run like Hydro Pump a lot more on Napoleon. That's what I've seen, but like, I get, I get not wanting to risk the 20% miss or like, yeah, 20% miss. I do think there's probably opportunity for the Infernape to have been Fire Pledge as well, but like I do think like when it comes to pledges I see most often is the swap, which is Water Pledge plus Grass Pledge, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the most common pledge combo. So, oh,
Yeah, I decided Infernape ended up being Flamethrower over Fire Pledge, and that was because I wanted the the pledges don't activate until the second one gets used, I think,
mhm.
and I wanted the
No,
op
well, yeah, sort of. I think if you use one, the other one activates like instantly.
oh, it's like a round type situation?
I don't actually remember. I think that's how it works, but yeah, don't quote me on that.
I'm not entirely sure if it
Okay.
works like Rob. What I do know is like damage is based off the second mon, the slower mon. So like let's say like, Infernape used it and then Empoleon used pledge. I do think damage is going to be calculated based off Empoleon's special attack. That's
Yeah, either way, I wanted the option of fast fire type damage.
yeah, okay. Whereas yeah, either way, I don't think the fire water pledges that combo is insane anyways. So
The rainbow? No, it's
No,
the worst one.
yeah,
it's just Serene Grace, which is pretty worthless here.
yeah, that's really not that impactful. So yeah, have an issue. It's only really if you had a grass type grass pledge.